Missouri State Senator Andrew Koenig. Andrew, come on up, please.
You know, this is so much greater than a progressive rally. Could you imagine? Everybody be getting a 1099 when they're done. And there wouldn't be near as many flags. So on Tuesday, during the State of the Union, we were in session. We went into session at 8 o'clock. We didn't finish until 3. There was a filibuster going on. And so, but I was able to watch the State of the Union. You know, one of the greatest things about watching the State of the Union this year was watching all the Democrats squirm in their seats. You know, I've been squirming in my seat for the last 8 years, so it was nice to watch the other side. You know, it's also great to have a president who actually picked 22 judges before he was elected, and then he said he was going to pick from one of those judges, and he actually did it. So it would be nice to actually take back the Supreme Court. I'm also very thankful that we didn't have to hear Mrs. Clinton's screechy voice during that State of the Union. You know, one of the things that the Democrats over and over and over again is they say that the right is against science. And you know, that couldn't be further from the truth. So I'm going to go through some of the issues where actually the Democrats and the liberals are the ones that are actually against science. Take abortion, for instance. You know, there's 3 differences between a baby inside the womb and outside the womb. Size, level of development, and level of dependency. You know, when you have a doctor that comes up or an EMT that comes up to a scene of an accident, someone's laying on the ground, he doesn't take out his tape measure, you know, to measure the person to see if they're alive. That is one reason why I filed heartbeat legislation this year. You know, when that doctor comes up to that person laying on the ground, he checks for a heartbeat, right? There's no question that life exists in the womb. And the Democrats are excluding all those people. They're not inclusive at all. You know, another area where the Democrats are completely wrong is when it comes to taxation. You know, over and over again, everywhere you go, they want to raise your taxes. But it's absolutely destructive to economic growth. You know, there's been 11 states to implement new income taxes over the last 50 years, where they didn't have an income tax at all and they implemented one. 11 out of 11 lost population, lost gross state product, and lost wages relative to the United States as a whole. So if we're going to make America great again, if we're going to make the state of Missouri great again, we have to reduce our tax burden. You know, the IRS actually tracks people's adjusted gross income. When someone moves from one state to another state, they track that income. And you know what? Missouri's lost $2.5 billion to Florida. We've lost $1.3 billion to Texas. You know, these states they don't have an income tax, and people seek out economic freedom. And it's because they have a low tax rate. And you know what? We've actually gained money from states. We've gained $1.2 billion from Illinois, and we've gained $500 million from California. You know, it's because people are seeking out economic freedom. Here in the state of Missouri, we hand out over $600 million in transferable tax credits. And the corporate tax brings in $280 million. We could literally cut the tax by 66%, and it wouldn't even affect revenue. Let's get government out of the job of manipulating our markets. You know, another area where the Democrats are completely wrong is when it comes to climate change. You know, in global warming, if we were to do exactly what they want us to do, we would utterly destroy our economy. And according to them, it would actually have no impact on climate change, according to their science, which is faulty anyways. Another area is evolution. You know, evolution is something, macroevolution is something that can't be seen or repeated. Yet in our schools, they refuse any other theory from being implemented in our schools. They want a monopoly. And if you take, for instance, a bacterial flagellum, All right, it takes 40 proteins to build this flagellum, and it would, according to the macroevolution, it would take millions of years. How do you have a flagellum that doesn't work? How does it evolve? These biological systems are irreducibly complex, yet they're stamping that science out of our schools. Also, what about gender, right? You're either born male or female. That's a scientific fact. I can't just think in my head that I'm a 65-year-old man and get Social Security. I don't think that would work. Because science tells me I'm not a 65-year-old man. I'm actually only 34. So we're doing some, it's great that at the federal level we have all three branches. And actually for the first time we have supermajorities in the Missouri House and Senate along with a Republican governor. And we're going to get a lot done, although the Senate is moving slower than I would like. But we got right to work done. We got tort reform done. We have a number of great bills that are on our calendar, including education reform, Medicaid reform, a lot of pro-life bills, and my tax credit reform bill. So I appreciate all your support, coming out to support Trump, and it's a great day today. Thanks.
Senator, thank you.